Guys, it's Luke here from the Indie Reviewers, and I'm here carrying out a two-part interview with Travis Pfenning and Mike Warbeck, the minds behind indie development team Code Avarice. At the moment I'm here with Travis Pfenning to talk about the team's development of Paranautical activity. Later we'll be joined by Mike to discuss the team's current green light controversy.
Alright, hey, how's everybody going? Thanks for coming out. And thanks Indie Reviewers for having us in, man. Luke, how are you doing, buddy? Everything good?
All's good, thanks. What about you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Well, outside of the green light controversy, but other than that, everything's fucking great, dude. It's awesome. It's awesome. You got some questions for us over here, brother?
Yes, we do. So,
all right.
Starting off, what was your background inspiration for Paranautical activity?
Well, that starts out with Mike. Mike is usually he spits out a lot of the ideas for our games. He was, I believe I've heard him say that he was thinking, he was playing a lot of Binding of Isaac, and we were both very avid fans of Doom. Binding of Isaac being a roguelike, Doom being a first-person shooter. Mike said, why not merge these two games together? Sounds like a great idea, and that pretty much started it. He had told me to begin with what the art style was going to be, and I'm going to be honest. I'm like, are you kidding me? Or are you telling me that I'm not adept enough to do something better than pixel art? And he was like, no, actually, it comes down to the fact that we need to put out good models quickly so we can get this game. Because the game was actually a side project to begin with. We were in the middle of development of a game called Avarice, which, since the popularity of Paranautical activity had gone up, we decided to abandon the Avarice project until further notice and focus full development on Paranautical activity. So that's pretty much how the game came about.
Nice. So, inspired by some great past games, very popular games, and it took a twist and mixed the two genres, which has paid off, as you can see, very well with your current popularity among the indie scene.
Yeah, it's doing awesome. We're really, really, really excited about the support and the fact that people really genuinely have a good time playing this game. It's one of those games where just one more, that's why the restart button is like hanging right on the death screen. It's like, yeah, we know you want to play again.
Yeah, I mean, myself, I've spent quite a while playing this game now, and I must say my mouse is being worn out. Just spamming that fire button and diving around the map. I must say, I admit, I'm not the best at the game, but I'll get there in the end, I think.
Yeah, man, the game's very difficult. I don't think that people should expect to start up Paranautical activity and do awesome. We designed it to be very difficult. As a matter of fact, we have a hard time making it any less difficult than it is, which we've had some requests for in the form of invincibility timers and things like that. But this is a game that's going to take you a little bit to get some feel for, because it's very fast paced. If you're not used to games like Doom and Quake and Unreal Tournament, where it's bullet hell, where things are flying at you all the time, and a very good part of your strategy is to stay out of the way of things hitting you, you're going to have a hard time with this game at first. And yeah, we just wanted to tell people not to get discouraged with it. Just spend a couple hours with it, and you will see your progress eventually. I mean, I can't even play the damn game, so.
The gameplay mechanics, how you're constantly dodging the enemies around and missiles that are fired towards you. It reminds me of platformer style games.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very much like that. Just simple dodging mechanics, but it's implemented so well. It adds such a difficulty to the game.
Well, the thing about that is, and what I noticed about this game, and I didn't expect it to happen, this is something that Mike probably totally expected to happen. In relation to a platformer, the AIs for the enemies don't change. And on a platformer game, once you run up against a certain enemy, he's going to do a certain thing. And then you learn to anticipate that certain thing, and you know how to beat that enemy. And as you progress throughout the game, you learn how to beat each enemy as you go. Paranautical activity is exactly that, except it's in 3D form, which I thought was totally brilliant on Mike's part, because I didn't realize that was happening until I actually started to play. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's the same every time, so it's very platformy, like but it's in a 3D environment, which is so cool. It's so cool. I mean, I'm not trying to pat us on the back or anything, but as a player, as a gamer, when I played the game, I was just like, this is pretty freaking neat. It's neat how that feels. You know what I mean? Because it's never been done before. So,
I mean, it adds a lot more. You can change your strategies very easily because on a platform, as you said, you know, you can work your way around the enemies. You know how they work. With 3D, that adds a completely new direction. It's a completely...
and know the enemy that you're facing, right? So
Exactly.
you know what they're going to do, because I mean, we're very adamant about not the AIs don't change. You know, if once you run into, say, for instance, there we have an enemy called Gilead. Everybody calls him Satan or the devil. You see him right off, and he has a very anticipatable pattern. So if you understand, once you run into him and you understand the mechanic of he'll shoot in a certain direction, and then you can sidestep and then jump, and then sidestep and then jump. He's going to do the same thing every time. And once you learn that about every enemy, the game becomes increasingly easier. But the only way to get that experience is to actually play and study your enemies a little bit. I mean, that's what's really cool about this game, you know? Because it is hard. We designed it to be hard. Most roguelikes are very difficult, and Paranautical Activity is not an exception to that rule. It's made to be hard.
Yeah.
Sorry if anybody rage quits and breaks their stuff. We apologize. We'd like to reimburse you, but unfortunately we really can't.
Yeah. So, as you said, it's been in development. It's still in beta at the moment. So,
Yep.
How long has it been in development?
We actually started in the holidays of last year. Somewhere around December, I believe. So the game has been in development roughly 6 months. We work really fast.
Yeah, I mean, you've covered quite a lot of those 6 months. You've grown yourself a fan base. It's the game content that's constantly increasing. It's growing very quickly.
Yeah, we patch very quickly. Normally, we pride ourselves on how hard we work and how much we work. We work 16 hours a day. That's not an exaggeration. We put out a patch every week to every 2 weeks, with the exception of the last patch, which was what we were calling the mega patch, which took us a month and a half, because we doubled the content in the game in one patch. We try to keep up with it so we can keep, you know, everybody realizing, you know, we pride ourselves on how hard we work and how fast we work. So, and that's how we do it.
So, what have your good and bad points been during your development of Paranautical Activity?
That's kind of a strange question, Luke, because the only bad thing that I have to say about the development of Paranautical Activity is the green light controversy, which we will be covering in the second part of this interview. I enjoy my job. I love my job. I look forward to getting up in the morning and doing this and watching. I mean, the highlight of my day, because I have 2 monitors for my situation. In my left-hand monitor, I have Let's Players. I watch every one of these Let's Players, and so does Mike. We watch everything that comes through on Paranautical Activity because we have the availability to have one monitor for work and the other monitor for media. So we're constantly watching, and we're very avid parts of the community. So as far as, like, you know, adding the content and stuff like that, you can expect that we'll be out of beta before too long, but it's constantly being updated.
Linking to that, so have you got any future plans in the pipeline ready to come out? Or?
Yeah, we're working on version 1.5 right now, which will, on my board, we'll be adding, this is a short patch. This is a quick patch for us because we had some bugs that we had to deal with, and we got to get that patch out there because we don't want people running into game breaking bugs and stuff like that, and thinking that we're missing the mark. The problem with the last patch is we had some incremental patches right after the initial patch, the mega patch, because there was so much content in that, and we didn't have enough time to play test it, and people were wanting it. It had taken us long enough, and we put it out there, and there happened to be some bugs in it, which wasn't that big of a deal because we patched them out within the first 24 hours. But you know, we didn't know that was going to happen. So on my board right now, saying that the future patches is going to be, it's not small by any means, but it's not a lot. I mean, we're adding, right now I have 5 or 6 items listed, new items, a new enemy for the early game, because people were kind of distraught at the fact that there wasn't a lot of early game enemies. Obviously, it was early game, and we're working on mid game right now and trying to balance the entire situation. I mean, making a game is as far as balancing is concerned, it's always happening. We're always balancing. So for me this month, because I've got green light stuff to deal with, we're starting a Kickstarter campaign because of this green light thing. There's a lot of other things that detract us from making a game, and that's our problem with greenlight. It's like, listen, I gotta aim my shit at doing a campaign to actually get beyond this greenlight process instead of making this game. So we're trying to balance the both of them, but the next patch should be seen in the next week.
Right, okay, that's good. So just for this part of the interview, have you got any messages you'd like to send out to fans relating to your content updates? How can they stay up to date with the latest news?
The best way to find us, we're very, very active on Twitter, mostly because that's where our community is, and we're hanging out on it all day long. Another place to really keep up on us is through our website, codeavarice.com. We blog to that occasionally. The other thing that you can do is you can watch the Let's Players, because the Let's Players, some of these bigger guys, they're actually our friends, and they're really good about supporting us and helping get out the new stuff, like Green 9090, Northern Lion, Biznap, Alpaca Patrol. And you can also watch these guys play the game and get some pointers on how to actually get good at it. But the best way to watch our pipeline is probably to watch the Let's Players and to watch us on Twitter, which our Twitter links are also on codeavarice.com and stuff like that. Yes, the Greenlight page would be a good place to catch up with us, and the Zero page.
Right, okay, that's great to hear. So thanks for that quick, short interview, Travis.
No problem, Luke.
Recommend to all you guys listening and watching the video to check out the website for Code Avarice. Check out the Greenlight page, especially. And
yes, please.
Also, you can always check out those YouTubers that were referenced in the interview. Thanks, Travis, for the time spent. And
no problem, Luke. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, good luck with your Greenlight.
All right, man. Thank you very much. Good luck to you in your future endeavors, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Peace out.